So, today we're talking about something that could be a total game changer for clean energy. It's a breakthrough in AI that might, just might, solve one of the biggest headaches we have in building a truly green power grid.
I mean, it really all comes down to this one question, doesn't it? Renewables are fantastic when they're on, but what do you do when they're not? That unpredictability, that's the real wall we keep hitting on the road to a 100% clean energy future.
You see, it's not enough to just have solar panels and wind turbines. We have to know with almost perfect accuracy exactly how much juice we're going to get from them. Not just tomorrow or next week, but literally 5 minutes from now.
And the stakes here are incredibly high. If you nail the forecast, you get a beautiful, stable, efficient grid. Everything just works. But if you get it wrong, well, you're either throwing away perfectly good clean energy because you can't use it, or, even worse, you're looking at blackouts.
So, for about half a century now, we've been on this epic quest, searching for the perfect forecasting tool. You know, a reliable crystal ball for our energy future.
And this chart really tells that story perfectly. You can just see this slow, steady climb in how well our forecasts perform over the decades. We've definitely been getting better for sure, but it's all been small steps. Evolutionary, not revolutionary.
And each era brought a new kind of tool to the fight. Back in the 70s, it was all about simple statistical models. Then came these big physical models that actually understood weather physics, but wow, they were slow and super expensive. By the 2000s, machine learning was the new hotness. Smarter, yeah, but you had to train a brand new model from zero for every single wind farm. And more recently, transformer models gave us a boost, helping us see those big long-term patterns.
So, each of these was another little step up that curve we just looked at. But to really truly solve the renewable energy puzzle, we needed something totally different. We didn't need another small step, we needed a giant leap. Well, it looks like that leap might finally be here. It's a whole new class of AI called foundation models. Now, they're often built on that same transformer tech we just mentioned, but they're scaled up to a level that is just breathtaking. This is the same kind of tech that powers things like ChatGPT, but now it's being pointed at a completely different, and you could argue, much more critical problem.
So what exactly is a foundation model? Okay, here's the best way I can put it. Think of traditional AI as an expert who has spent their whole life studying one textbook, and they know it inside and out. A foundation model is like an expert who has read an entire library on basically every subject imaginable. It's pre-trained on these huge, diverse sets of data, which gives it this incredibly broad, almost intuitive understanding of how the world works. And the results? Well, you can see for yourself. They are dramatic. Just look at that bottom row for foundation models. All those dark blue squares? That's the best possible score. They are just crushing everything that came before, across the board. It's not even a close competition.
And let's put a real number on this. One of these new models, called Kronos, managed to cut the error rate in solar power forecasting by 15 to 20%. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but in the world of managing a power grid, that is an absolutely massive improvement. Okay, so what is their secret sauce? What is the superpower that makes these foundation models so much better at this specific job?
Well, it's really a few things working together. They can generalize patterns across all sorts of different domains. They're amazing at what's called transfer learning, taking knowledge from one thing and applying it to something totally new. They can learn from just insane amounts of data without needing a human to label it all. And maybe the wildest part is something called zero-shot capability. This means you can show it a brand new solar farm it has never seen before, and it can start making accurate predictions right away. Instantly, no new training needed.
All of that is incredible, for sure. But for forecasting clean energy, there is one advantage that rises above all the rest.
And it's this: they can see the entire picture all at the same time.
This is where it gets really, really cool. This slide kind of shows you that superpower in action. A foundation model isn't just looking at a weather report. It can pull in totally different kinds of information: live satellite images, real-time sensor data from the grid, even Internet of Things devices, and it fuses it all together. So imagine it seeing a dust storm forming over the Sahara on satellite images, and from that instantly calculating how that's going to reduce solar power for farms all across Europe in a few days. That is the level of thinking we're talking about here.
But of course, no technology is a magic wand. This new AI oracle is unbelievably powerful, but it's still a wild beast. We still have to figure out how to tame it. So here's a quick look at the trade-offs. On the pro side, you've got accuracy and adaptability that are just off the charts. But on the con side,
These things take a ton of computing power, they need mountains of data, and we don't always know how they're coming up with their answers. And that last one, that's the real sticking point. It's what people in the field call the black box problem.
I mean, put yourself in the shoes of a grid operator for a second. This AI spits out a number, a forecast, but you have absolutely no idea why it chose that number. How can you possibly bet the stability of the entire electrical grid on a prediction you can't understand or double-check?
The good news, though, is that researchers are all over this. They're working hard to crack open that black box. They're developing ways to see what data the AI is paying attention to. They're literally building the laws of physics into the AI to make sure its predictions make sense in the real world. And they're even using simpler, dumber AIs to try and explain what the super complex one is thinking.
So building trust is job number one. But at the same time, people are also working on making these models more efficient and figuring out how we can possibly feed their enormous appetite for good, high-quality data. Which, of course, brings us right back to the big question. We've been on this 50-year-long hunt for a better way to predict the future. Have we finally found it? Could these powerful new AI oracles actually be the key, the missing piece of the puzzle we need to unlock a reliable, 100% clean energy grid?
Well, if you ask the researchers who are on the front lines of this stuff, the answer seems to be a pretty clear yes. They don't see this as just another little improvement. They're calling it a paradigm shift, a totally new way of thinking. A way to embrace the randomness of renewables, not as a problem to solve, but as a feature to understand. It really seems like the quest for that perfect crystal ball might just be coming to an end.